hear from Twizzy. Long time no chat. He's the Bills fan. He's sitting out there on I-5 in California. Twiz, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding, dog. And it's not quite the 5, it's the 10, but, you're close enough. We can get there in a couple minutes, too. Hey, dog, look here. This Allen kid out of Wyoming, right? I went and I looked back, and I seen some of his completion percentages, and his problem doesn't start. He's never – the first season that he has a 60% completing percentage will be the first season. He is awfully inaccurate at every level he's ever played in. So it's not just his receivers at Wyoming. It goes back to high school. So that would be concerning me greatly.
That would bother me. 56%. Now, listen, he throws a very hard ball, supposedly. Wyoming probably doesn't have world-class receivers. You got to put that into the equation a little bit. But 56%, no matter how you cut it, is 56%. Go ahead. Next.
Now, Jamarcus Russell had a big, strong arm too, dog. And when I think back to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, those guys don't have the strongest of arms. So that's and neither does Drew Brees. So you don't really need that great, strong arm. You don't have to be
overrated.
Matt Stafford have a gun.
I agree.
But this notion that you don't take a quarterback first if you need a quarterback is crazy to me, dog. Your job as the GM is to separate. Your scouting department job is to separate the quarterbacks, to pick 1, 2, and 3, put a number on these guys, decide who do you like better.
I understand that there, Twiz, but it has to be large enough between 1 and 3 where you think that 1 is a Hall of Famer and 3 is only pretty good for you to sit there if you're the Browns and draft one at draft a QB at number 1.
I disagree with that notion because you can't. We have no idea who's going to be a Hall of Famer and who's not.
Well, Barkley is going to. I'll tell you right now. I'll say it unequivocally right this minute. If he stays healthy, Barkley's got Hall of Fame talent.
There are a lot of guys who had Hall of Fame.
Hold on now. This guy had a great career. He played when he didn't have to. He loves the sport. He catches the ball out of the backfield. He runs back kickoffs. This guy, he played in a big league against high quality defenses. Barkley to me. Barkley and the running back has been good in the NFL recently. Obviously, Elliott and Fournette. He is a no-brainer as a Hall of Fame talent.
Marty was good also. He also was in the playoffs on a playoff team and got further than Elliott ever has gotten.
Who's this? Who's this?
Cromartie from the Saints. And he was a late draft pick.
No, that's Kamara. That's Kamara from the Saints.
Yeah, Kamara. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Kamara.
He was a fifth rounder. I get that. They got lucky and they found him, and he's a great player too. And so you can find those two as well. Don't get me. But I can also bring up Brady, who's a 6th rounder. So there's a million things I can do here. Russell Wilson came out of nowhere. I mean, if you're gonna go there, great players are found all over the place. My only argument with the Browns is simply this: if you have made a determination that there is a big difference between the first quarterback and the third quarterback, well, then have at it and draft them. Now, the only thing I would say with that is you might have that on your board and another franchise might have the exact opposite on his board with the quarterbacks. But if you feel that way, I can't argue with it. There is nobody else who's got a running back high anywhere near Barkley. And there's also nobody else who is close to Barkley outside of Chubb from a talent standpoint. Nobody. But the kid from NC State, you want to tell me that he's on that quote-unquote Barkley level? He probably isn't. But, I mean, that's it. Barkley is great. That guy's a great football player. Now, you're going to sit there and tell me that that they have already revealed their hand because they've drafted Carlos Hyde? I mean, I guess so. But that's what I would do myself. That's what I would do. Now, we'll see if the Browns do that. I have a funny feeling they're going to probably take a QB, and then we'll see what they do at 4. Barkley ain't going to be there at 4, though. I can tell you that right now. I think the Giants are taking Barkley at 2. I don't know that. The Giants aren't going to tell me anything. But I think the Giants are taking Barkley at 2. And then 3, the Jets will take the other quarterback. I don't know. Who knows where. Anybody who knows who thinks they know, they be guessing. And then the Browns 4 can do what they want. They're not going to take a 4. The Browns won't take 2 quarterbacks. I've heard that. No way. They taking 2. Ty in Seattle, and he's with us here. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Ty, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have for me?
Hey, I'm good, Chris. How you doing, my friend?
Good to have you aboard, Ty. Thank you. What's happening now?
All right, man. First-time caller, man. First of all, I just want to give a shout-out to you, man. I love hearing you and watching, listening to you every day, my friend. I'm on lunch, so I don't have a lot of time. I'm out here in the Seattle area. I am a Seahawks fan, but I've been a diehard Browns fan since a kid. My dad was a Browns fan, and I appreciate everything you're saying about this Barkley kid. If people don't understand, if you can't see this dude is way above anything else coming out of this draft. This is a special player, man. I feel we could be watching a Hall of Famer down the road if this guy stays healthy. And if Cleveland, my Browns team, goof this thing up and don't draft this boy, man, I'm getting off the bandwagon. This guy's an impact player on the field, off the field. Chris, they have a perfect opportunity here. So I appreciate what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. And this guy, man, is fantastic. So I hope this thing goes that way.
I'll tell you,
what's your thoughts on that, my friend?
Oh, listen, if John Dorsey has a press conference at 10 o'clock at night on Thursday, and he has Barkley and Rosen as his players, that's a hell of a draft. Hell of a draft. Hell of a draft. To me, you never have enough running backs anyway. You can't have Barkley carry the ball 50 times a game. You want to save him a little bit. When you have the fourth pick, I know the quarterback's the most important position. When you have the fourth pick and there are four quarterbacks, take the best player at one. And the best player is Barkley. Here's Albert in Arizona. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's hanging out with Walter White.
Yeah. Sorry. Are you there?
I'm fine, Albert. Thank you. What's on your mind today? What do you have for me?
Yeah, look, this is where I'm coming from. A couple years ago, Brady went down, and Garoppolo came in. He played very well for 3 or 4 games, and then he got hurt, and the Jacoby Brissett came in there, and he played very well. So what's the common denominator? Okay, all those 3 guys have talent, but look at the guys in front of them. And so Brissett goes over to the Colts, and there's potential there, but essentially, he stunk. The team stunk. And what I'm saying is that why have the GMs for the Browns all these years have gone, quarterback? I mean, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, man. I'm saying that if they would have hit on a quarterback, let's say they got Wentz, they still would have stunk because of the line. You take your first pick and you get the guard from Notre Dame. And then with that fourth pick, you get Brissett. Why are you gambling on the unknown? Why are you gambling on unknown commodities when you can get a known commodity, a known quantity? Get a veteran quarterback.
You cannot. They have the veteran quarterback, Albert. You cannot draft a guard with the first pick in a draft. That you can't do. That's not fair. That you can't do. Can't do that. Again, Brissett, you're making Brissett out to be a lot better than he was. He's not that good. Now, you're right about Garoppolo, and there was a superb job, and the Browns probably could have had him. Listen, what hurts the Browns is they have had so many chances to get this position taken care of a long time ago. They obviously could have drafted Wentz. They could have drafted Goff. They've had the number 1 pick in the draft a million times. They drafted Couch. He wasn't the answer. They wasted the 22nd pick on Manziel. That didn't work out. Maybe they could have pulled off a trade last year or sometime with Garoppolo, although maybe he wanted to trade him to the NFC. Who knows? But they didn't do that either. I mean, they've had many a chance to fix this position and haven't done it. And now they're in a situation with the number 1 pick where there are question marks about all 4 quarterbacks. You heard what Sean Payton said. I wouldn't draft. These are nice players. I wouldn't draft any of them with the first pick in the draft. That's a quote from Sean Payton. He's won a Super Bowl. Keep that in mind. Tricky spot. We'll see what this franchise does. Here's Pete in Albany, New York. Pete, good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have?
Thanks for taking my call, Doggy. Please don't be the general manager of Cleveland because I am.
We lost you, Pete. What'd you say? Bad cell phone. Hello? He doesn't want me to draft in the linebacker or the quarterback. Brad in Florida, Mad Dog Unleashed. Brad, welcome. How are you today?
Hey, Doggy. Thanks for taking the call, buddy.
You got it, Brad. Thank you. What's going on?
Hey, I am in with you. 28 quarterbacks in 27 years because they bring a quarterback in, Cleveland does. They go 3-13, 2-14. Oh, this guy sucks. Let's get another quarterback. They need to draft Barkley 1, Chubb 4, and then Lamar Jackson will probably be in their second round. Bring him in and then develop somebody. Let a quarterback stay there for more than 1 year and then get things going on. And they've already got a defense. I mean, they were in most of those games. They very easily, with a twist here or a turn there, could have gone 6-10, 7-9 last year, but they end up over. It just drives me nuts. It doesn't have to be a quarterback. Don't waste it on a quarterback.
Well, you need listen. They need to get one in the top 4 picks. But my point is, you can get one of the 4 and draft Barkley, and that's a no-brainer. All right, Steve. Let's ask Steve. What do you want to do, Steve, with the first pick? You would take a quarterback. Which one are you going to take?
I'll probably go the safe way and go Darnold.
Now, what would you do with your 4th pick?
I think
Barkley will not be there.
If Barkley's not available, I go Chubb.
Okay. Barkley's not. They're going to draft 2 defensive linemen with the top 4 picks in 2 years in a row.
You match them up together. That's pretty damn good. It's not like they can't use another good defensive player.
They have. That's a pretty good defense. They need offense, Steve. They need offense. That's what that team needs more than anything else. I mean,
so what do you get? So if Barkley's not there, what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, you got a spotty offensive line, and you have Carlos Hyde with a rookie quarterback and 1 receiver. That's not enough to win. Not enough.
Okay, so what do you do?
Maybe I take the lineman from Notre Dame, the guard everybody loves.
With the 4th pick?
Yep, take him. Maybe you do that. You want to take what? You probably take Darnold.
Is there any chance that Darnold that Barkley would be available at 4?
No.
You don't think so?
I think the Giants are going to take him. I don't know that, but I think that. I have no idea. But I think that he is not. If you give Eli Barkley, Ingram, Beckham, and Shepard with Sojourn on offensive line, that's a hell of an offense. Barkley, oh my God. And also it keeps Beckham in control.
You don't think there's any chance they might take a quarterback?
No, 0. I was all fall. I thought they'd take a QB. I've been off it. Got him in at 65 years of age with Ernie saying that Eli's got 2 years left, and Gettleman saying, boy, what I saw in the Philadelphia game, Eli's not shot. He's got plenty left. They brought in a left tackle. I think they're drafting.
Yeah,
I think they
got
would,
2 years left, but why couldn't you develop somebody behind him? Unless you think that Webb can do something.
The Giants are a now team, Steve. If you have Eli there for 2 years and you're trying to win another Super Bowl for him, you got to draft somebody who's going to help him immediately, not his replacement. Plus, Eli last year was a pain in the ass with Davis Webb and Geno.
Yeah,
they are.
This is one of the more compelling, fascinating drafts we've had in a while.
I'm surprised you don't like the idea of the running back and then a quarterback at number 4. I'm surprised. Darnell had 43 turnovers in 27 starts.
Yeah,
and the USC quarterbacks have never made it in the NFL.
But you think they should take Barkley with the 1st pick?
Yeah, and then take a quarterback at number 4.
Yeah. Well, it depends. If they've got their heart, if they think that Darnold's the best, then they might lose him.
Well, hold on now. I mean, what's their explanation about the USC thing? Leinart, awful. Palmer, not great. Obviously, Sanchez.
Well, Palmer had a pretty good career. You can't say it wasn't great.
He was okay, Steve. Let's be fair. You saw the playoff game against the Carolina. He was not a great. He was not great for Cincinnati. He was not a great quarter. He was not worth this. They drafted him the first pick in the draft. He was not on that level. As Gettleman says, when you have a high pick and you draft the top 5 pick, you have to envision yourself putting a Hall of Fame jacket on a guy. Do you envision a Hall of Fame jacket on Donald? I don't.
Not with conviction, but I mean, there have been plenty of guys drafted in the top 5 who have not been fitted.
Well, granted, but you have to try to get that right, and the top 5 picks got to be a Hall of Famer. Try to be. That's the idea. You have a top 5 pick.
But if the Browns don't take a quarterback,
well, they'll take one at number 4, Steve.
Get drilled.
They'll take one at number 4.
I just don't envision that route for them. I just don't.
So you think Darnold yourself? You see all the games. You think Darnold is that much better than Rosen, Mayfield, and Josh Allen?
I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I'm not overly gaga about this quarterback class.
Well, if that's the case, why would you trade?
Well, you're asking me what I think the Browns will do.
What would you do? I asked you what you would do. I didn't ask you what the Browns would do. I asked you what you would do, Steve Torrey.
I still think that there's a chance. Now I know you're telling me that there isn't because they're probably going to take him at 2. I still think there's a chance they could actually get both if they go quarterback one. It's not a great chance, but I think there is a chance. Now, again,
I can't rule it out.
Just like you or any of these mock draft experts or whomever, none of us know what the hell's going to happen.
I can't rule it out. I just don't think the Giants, I think Gettleman envisions Barkley as a Hall of Famer. I think he envisions it. If you read his work cryptically, you get the idea. You're right about the Jets. They would never take Barkley. But I just think that he will not be able to pass on Barkley at number 2.
You might be right about that.
And if you're basing your decision on Barkley might be there at 4, my answer to you is you can't assume that, so say no. If that's the case, what would you do?
I still don't know if I would go running back with the first pick.
So you would draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what would you do at 4?
I'd like Chubb. I think that if you put him there with Garrett, that's a pretty damn good tandem. And you got to build it. I know you're saying that their defense is pretty good, but it's not elite level good. I mean, it could get to that point with these two guys. Based on what I hear and read. I mean, I saw him play 1.5 games.
I don't think he even saw that.
You know what I mean? So how can I'm going on.
I don't recall one time this past year you would talk to me about Chubb as a defensive lineman.
Like I just said, that I'd not come clean. I have no idea if he's going to be good. I'm going on what I've read.
Do you think Barkley's going to be good?
Yeah, I mean that's a guy that I've seen play, and that I can at least make an assessment. That I told you the other day, he looks like he could be special. Absolutely.
Geez, how do you pass that up when you can get a quarterback at 4? I don't see how you do that.
We'll find out.
Stevie's got a sports bite, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed.